Hello DinoRanker, I am Ismael Ruiz, the new content creator for DinoRANK. And today I want to show you how you can use artificial intelligence in a very professional way to create much more content, attract much more organic traffic, and achieve much better results in terms of SEO. In this video, I am going to show you how you can generate your own content. But not only that, we will also see how to create a complete web architecture with integrated keyword research. All with a single click, and thanks to DinoBrain, the artificial intelligence module of DinoRANK that can make your visits soar. Do you want to see it from the inside? Then join me at the computer and we'll take a look together. What is DinoBrain going to do? Well, it's very simple. What it will do is, based on the query or the question we are asking here in the search engine, in Google, it will enter the search page, specifically the first page of Google, and it will crawl, so to speak, regarding the search. It will dive in and go into each of the top results on the first page, examining how the content is structured, what types of words, terms and keywords the competition is using. And it will create content based on this main or seed keyword that has all the possibilities of ranking. As I said, it will go into each of the results. For example, we will start opening some here and you will see how it is structured and what type of content it is. The first thing to consider is the type of content in terms of search intent, whether it is an informational article, a more commercial or transactional article, etc. For example, here when searching for types of sharks, what it will do is infer. DinoBrain, as I said, will infer that it is an article that needs to be generated, specifically informative, and it will generate content that obviously, as its own query indicates, will provide us with all the types of sharks that exist. Okay, in this case, are they presenting it in the form of tiles or as clickable images, okay? If I click on any type of shark, this blog or this website will show me the type of shark in question, okay? And if we go to another search result, we will see that the search intent is very similar. For example, if we open Wikipedia, if we open this other government type page, as you can see here, it will offer me a purely informative text where it will link me to the different types of sharks that exist. Wikipedia presents it in a list format, but the other search results, as you can see here, display it in a more visual way, in tile format, or let's say, in boxes, okay? In a grid made up of several different tiles, which will be linked to presumably a specific article about each of the sharks. And, as you can see here, each of the sharks has its own page. But ultimately what DinoBrain will do is, as I mentioned, enter each of the top search results and first analyze the search intent of the query we are looking for in its search engine. It will then create content that semantically includes all the main terms and keywords that our competition includes. So it will return to us an article that aligns with all the possibilities of ranking, just like our competition, in the top search results of the search engine. Well, with all this that I have told you, what can we do? So we go to DinoBrain, we input types of sharks, and we can click to create a text. We can also choose to create a text including an image if we want, and we can provide context and exclusions as well. What is this for? Well, it serves to guide the artificial intelligence of DinoBrain a little more so that it targets the article exactly to what we want. However, we do have some concepts, let's say, intermediate or advanced regarding SEO. If we don't have too many concepts about SEO, and despite having seen the Google SERP, we don't have enough knowledge to accurately target the search intent we see in the top results, then we won't need to provide any additional context or background. For example, we can include some phrases like these. Have we already seen before that what was predominantly ranking? Let's reopen use and these results were lists. Lists of all possible types of sharks. The more the better, right? Is that what Google is ranking? And is that the search intent that Google believes or senses the user has? Okay? What does the user expect to receive within their search results page? Therefore, to ensure that what we are going to get is exactly what the top ranked sources have, we will tell it that I need an informative article where you provide all the possible information about the greatest number of shark species that exist, with a bit of information about each one of them. We will also discuss what we can mention within the context to make it relevant, so that it hits the mark, so to speak. with the same type of content without offering too much information about each of the shark species. As you can see here in the top results of each type, there isn't too much information. Just one sentence, 2 sentences at most, you see. Like for example, do you see here? Why? Well, precisely because of what I am saying here, in future articles I am going to create a special text for each of those types of sharks. Therefore, those will be, for example, one example of the many that may exist. You can provide the phrase you want, or the context, and even the exclusions. For example, if we are talking about e-commerce, about online stores, you can certainly say, I don't know, for example, red bicycles. You can obviously tell it not to mention the competition, other types of companies that, like you, also sell red bicycles. But to explore and test all the power that DinoBrain has to create original articles with a serious chance of ranking on Google's SERP, we are going to remove all exclusions and see how it performs. Not only without giving exclusions, but also by generating several articles. What we are going to do is write down several of the articles we want to generate here, for example, types of sharks. Did we also say, for example, perhaps where I can see sharks? And another era, for example, was when the sharks eat people. Yeah, this is another one of the IT people here. And we have it here complete, which is one of the very frequently asked questions that we might ask ourselves. Here we have it. We can choose to include images. Why not? To make it even more complete. You know, this is one of the features included in DinoBrain, and we just need to click on Create Texts. We want to tell it. We want to confirm that yes, we obviously want to generate not just one article, but several at once. And the artificial intelligence of DinoBrain gets to work here, as you can see, and it starts working. As you can see, we already have some articles, about 20%. Of them, as I mentioned earlier, enter into Google's SERP, ranking among the top positions for each of the seed keywords we provided, which will include all these searches. Searches like the previous one about types of sharks. And it will generate original content of the greatest possible length that has serious chances of ranking. Why? Because it is structured to dive into the top-ranked results on Google. It explores the structures, the search intent of users, and therefore, which are the top articles or the best articles according to Google, those that are best positioned. It looks a bit at the structure of all those articles in terms of keywords and semantic richness, so it provides us with articles that are as optimized as possible, okay? As you can see, we are almost done. We have these last 2, and now we just have 1 left. And voila, here are our articles. It tells us that these articles have been properly generated. And next, we can view each one of them through this button. Okay? As you can see, they are organized hierarchically with their headings, and all we need to do is copy them and take them to our website, whether it's on WordPress or any other CMS. We just copy and paste it into a new post. As you can see, they are all properly structured and optimized. You can read this, for example. You can also edit it right here. Or simply, what you can do is nothing. You copy it and edit it on your own website. As you can see here as well, finally, it has given us an image, a proposed image, so to speak, for each of the articles of these 4. For example, we can click on each of them, and with the artificial intelligence of DinoBrain, as you can see here, it has been creating image proposals, okay? For example, I can create, for instance, I'm going to select this one. I tell it that I'm sure, and it assigns it to this article, okay? Shall we proceed here? As you can see at the very beginning, next to our H, it has created this image that we can now copy. We can copy it without the image if we don't want it, or with the image. We can also look at the other articles and see if it makes sense to take any images. Additionally, as I mentioned, we can copy all those articles and take them to our website. Interestingly, in most cases, or at least that is the predominant use that users tend to give to DinoBrain, they often use short-tail keywords to rank blog articles. However, as you can see here in the case of where I can see sharks, if we go to view the article, it has created a list of places effectively, considering the user's search intent and the top-ranked results. As I mentioned earlier, the main sites, the primary places where I can see sharks, as indicated by its seed keyword. So, as you can see here, the search intent besides being informative, also has some commercial undertones in some of the top results when we look at the Google SERP. Indeed. For example, the Barcelona Aquarium, the Lanzarote Aquarium, here we see some websites of physical places that can be visited. Okay? But if we go a little further down, we see this bucket list travel section that, as you can see here, invites you in a somewhat commercial or transactional way. Because, as you can see, although it is a list of various sites, where you can effectively see sharks, you can go to see more details to book your spot at each of these mentioned places. Okay? For example, as we have seen here, it allows you to go to pages to book hotels or other places, to other accommodation booking sites, as we have been able to verify in order to effectively see those sharks. Okay? So that's what I wanted to clarify. That DinoBrain is not only capable of generating purely informational content for blogs, but also depending on the nuances of that query. Okay? How do I say, as you dive into the Google SERP and see what the top ranked pages have written, organized by their search intent, you can also create, why not, if we go a bit further into the commercial aspect, you can create, for example, product listings and product sheets for your e-commerce. That is, not everything has to be informative, okay? We can also aim for results that are somewhat more informative but also have transactional elements. These articles can be edited, and if they are, for example, for a blog where you plan to monetize through affiliate marketing, then for each of these places that have the potential for affiliate marketing, why not? You will also be able to do this in addition to having created those informative articles. Okay, once I create all the articles that I will be generating here with DinoBrain, do I have to go and check each of the articles, manually copy all the text and take it to the posts on my website? Well, no. You can do it perfectly one by one, but if you have, for example, 4, it would be easy. But imagine you have 20. You would have to upload each of the 20, and this would take quite a bit of time. Therefore, DinoBrain has thought of everything and has an option here to upload all the articles you specify and select in bulk. You can upload them all at once by indicating here, as I said, each of the articles you want to upload all at once. You upload it to WordPress, confirm that you do. And you will only need to follow a few simple steps that will appear here. I am going to use this test website. The only thing you will need to provide is the email you used to log into your website, okay? I am going to use this test website as I mentioned, and you will need to provide an API key. What will this API key be? Well, it's very simple. I will explain it to you next. Log into your website on WordPress, and within the admin panel, go to the user section and then to profile. Once you are in the profile, scroll down to the bottom and you will find a section called application passwords. In this case, you will need to give a new name to this password. For example, I will name it Test DinoBrain. We are going to put it here. Test DinoBrain, add a new application password and an alphanumeric code like this one you see here will be generated, which you simply need to select, copy and paste it here, okay? You make sure that the website is where you actually want to upload all your content, and you click on Save Changes. In a few seconds, DinoBrain, as you can see here, will start automatically uploading all the content. In this case, there have only been 4, but as I told you, they can be 10, 15, 20 or however many you choose, okay? Are we going to check the entries? Let's update the entries we have here. And as you can see, we have all the articles we generated, which would be these 3. Okay, here we have the 4th one that has been generated without a title. But in this case, we will see that it has also been uploaded correctly, just as we indicated here in this content creator of DinoBrain 2009. We are going to go this way, and as you can see, we already have this content here. If we continue within our website, we will check each of the contents that we have generated next. As you can see, here we have sharks, the fascinating marine world of these predators. And we have all the content here, including the main image, which I think is an option that will significantly improve our productivity. Right. See, wait, don't close the video yet. Do you remember that I told you before that DinoBrain has another section where you can create a complete architecture for your website? So come along with me and I'll tell you. But the creation of original and SEO-optimized content is not the only function that DinoBrain has here. You also have web architecture generation. And what is web architecture generation? Well, it is a module within DinoRANK through which, by providing a seed keyword here, just like we did with content generation, it will segment or hierarchize your website into large thematic areas. For example, if you are starting with your website and it is, in this case, about sharks, it will organize it accordingly. We will see this with the example we have in question. We are going to set the seed keyword, that is the main keyword, from which all the major themes and subsequent sub-themes within the main topic, as I mentioned, of my website will originate, okay? And we would give it. And here we have the button to create web architecture. As you can see, you don't have many options, but that doesn't make it any less powerful. And now we are going to verify that. Here you have another option, which is to provide a context and what the context and exclusions are. Well, if for example you want to create, I don't know, a website for carpenters, okay? Are you a carpenter and are you creating your own website about carpentry? Well, here you can provide exclusions where you can say my website is about the theme of carpentry. And I also offer, as a carpenter, this type of services. Do not mention brands related to this carpentry sector. All types, including the medical sector, etc. Okay, we can provide exclusions and also context, which can be a prompt or some guidelines to direct it based on the hierarchy or the major thematic areas that you want, or the major thematic areas, depending on how you want this website to be oriented thematically. For now, to test this web architecture generation of DinoRANK, I will leave it like this. I will click on Generate Architecture, and what it will always do is perform a search, an exploration across the internet to see how to optimize the hierarchy in the best possible way for SEO, looking for all those topics and subtopics related to this main or seed keyword. This is going to take a while. This is going to take 2 or 3. This process is going to take 2 or 3 minutes. And in the meantime, I can go ahead and use the tool at my leisure, or I can wait for it to create the web architecture. I am going to cut this video, and in 2 or 3 minutes we will be back to see the result that DinoRANK has given us. Well, after a few minutes we see the result down here, and as you can see, it has given us a large thematic tree that we can open by clicking on each of these pink dots. But let's pause to analyze the main theme of sharks. It has divided it into the species or types of sharks, the anatomy of sharks, the behavior of sharks, and conservation. Let's open each of these little balls, if you feel like it, to see thematically if they are well optimized or not. As you can see here, the species of sharks have been divided into the main species that exist. All this information has been searched for on the internet, and we can see that we have the great white shark here. As I mentioned, if we continue to expand this great thematic tree with these pink dots, we click on this pink dot and it turns white. This means, just so you know, if it's your first time using it, that this tree is open. You can already see here the great theme of the sub-theme of the great white shark. We have other sub-themes here, and if you hover the mouse over each of them, you can see that they are topics. If you look here in the volume option, these are topics that DinoRANK has detected that already have searches. This means that all those internet users interested in the great theme of sharks are searching for all these keywords. For example, as you can see here, the habitat of the great white shark is being searched for an average of 1,900 times a month. So what happens here? How great! And what is happening here? What other options do we have? Well, we have this gear that if we click here, you will see that this option unfolds for us. You will see that this additional option for DinoRANK unfolds for us. What can we do? Well, with this keyword here, we can generate new content using the content generator from DinoRANK that we just saw in this video. We can modify it in case we say, I don't really like this keyword, I want to change it to another one that suits me. For example, if you are a specialist in sharks, perhaps I don't want the great white shark, I want habitat of the great white shark, for instance. You can remove this part here and create it to your liking, and you can also remove or delete it from the large thematic tree that has been generated here. What I recommend in this case is that you do not modify it, but rather take advantage of the searches it has and generate all these successive contents that the tool provides and recommends. Similarly, you can also generate all these contents related to the other types of sharks that already have searches. If I put the mouse over it, you will see that they already have searches on the internet. And if you click on the little ball again, it will hide that sub-theme, okay? Let's take a look at another test here. I'm going to zoom in a bit to see if the mouse responds to me. And within conservation, it opens up a whole large tree, as you can see here, that I have to zoom out to clearly see all the major themes that we have. All the subtopics that open up for us, which appear just below the conservation of sharks. As you can see here, you see one here, another one. The regulations in shark fishing, subtopics that you can also create with DinoBrain, and ultimately, a large thematic area that can be useful whether you are just starting with your website or if you have been running your own website for a while and want to organize and divide it into large thematic areas, or what we call in SEO, large clusters, okay? Large clusters of content. Well, DinoRanker, and this brings us to the end of this week's video with everything that DinoBrain, the artificial intelligence of DinoRank, can do for you. But be careful, I will stop here for now, as my copies are telling me that they are working day by day to release more and more SEO functionalities, improve this tool, and make it the most comprehensive on the market. In fact, it is already the best. Wait, to finish. I have some bad news, and that is that I have taken over the channel and you will no longer see Din Romero here, but me. No, what a joke. You will continue to see him, me, and more members of the DinoRank team on this channel. But that will happen if and only if you subscribe to the channel down here, and if you want to be the first to know when we publish the next video. Activate the notification bell. And now, I bid farewell. This is Ismael Ruiz. It has been a true pleasure to debut in this tutorial with you, Yusand. I have enjoyed it a lot. I had a great time creating content with DinoBrain and generating this example of web architecture that you have seen in the video. Until next time, DinoRanker.